Okay, we should be back. I apologize for the inconvenience. We're going to put this link in Discord real quick. Back to football. So, I think you guys missed like the past minute. Nothing super eventful happened, but the Caps are just still driving down the field. They now have a 29. Yeah, those are the plays that have happened since. I think it's only been like 2 or 3. So, back in business indeed. Nearing the end of the third quarter for what it's worth. There's Todd Gurley again. You do have to give a lot of credit to Columbus's offensive line because they've been really good. Part of it's been Todd Gurley because he's been breaking a bunch of tackles and missing a bunch of tackles. But the O-line has blocked really well for him too. So it's not just Todd Gurley, but Todd Gurley has been remarkable. But those 5 beefy boys up the middle, the Hog Mollies, they have also been remarkable too. How did Diggs catch that? I have a pro tip for the Cowboys. Give it to Hunt and get out of the way. I feel like Todd Gurley has overshadowed Kareem Hunt because Kareem Hunt's been really good too. I mean, both running backs have been outstanding, which is very rare for a watch game. Usually it's the other way around. There's Todd to the 4 now. Still would be a 2-possession game if they score here. They are inching awfully close, but it's now 3rd and goal. If you don't get it, I feel like you just have to kick a field goal. You don't really have a choice, right? And they do score. Not by Todd, though. By 83. I don't know who 83 is. I wish I did. Can I see a name, good sir? I literally cannot tell. Okay, hold on. We're going to go back into the thing real quick. Because it lists out all the recent plays. So, that drive was not 11 minutes and 16 seconds. Stop. Donovan Peoples-Jones. Okay. DPJ was the one with the score. And the Caps lead it by 15. Dallas has to start to be feeling a little bit desperate. They're not out of the game, but they're also not looking particularly good at the moment. The NFL GOAT! What a guy! Hey, the one guy on the Browns I like. Because he went to... Oh, no. Are we going to have an all-out civil war now that Nick knows that he's a Michigan fan? Oh, no. This chat's going to be ugly. Just in advance, Nick is an Ohio State fan, so... yeah, that's why I'm saying that. Wonder what we might find here. Woodard might get to some open ghosts. I see Nick has still not responded since he said he was a Michigan fan. 9 in a row. Oh, I should have expected that. There are like so many fans of this community of different Big Ten teams, but it seems like they all hate Michigan. Which is kind of ironic. I don't have any issues with Michigan, mainly because my teams aren't in the Big Ten. But it's kind of ironic that like Michigan is like the default team that everybody doesn't like. I mean, had I chosen the same colleges that are near my favorite professional teams, then I guess I would be a Michigan fan. For the sake of sadness and despair, I'm kind of happy I didn't do that, though. Sorry, 8 in a row. Get your facts right. Dallas is not giving up. They have it at 14. No beef with Michigan because you're not a college football fan. Yeah, we're like the only ones who don't hate Michigan. Gonna be 9 in a row, though. Who's Michigan's quarterback again next year? Why am I blanking? Is Christian McCaffrey's brother the starting quarterback at Michigan next year? I could have sworn there was a McCaffrey quarterback going to Michigan. And I want to say he's starting, and I could be totally wrong about that. You don't like their football program? I don't think many Michigan fans do. For obvious reasons. Hold on. Who is their... Now I'm curious. Who is their listed starting quarterback? Is it McCaffrey? Oh, it's a fumble! And it's picked up by Columbus. It's Earl Thomas who recovers, so Dallas's chances are really not looking good. All right, let me go on Michigan's hour lads real quick. I could have sworn they had McCaffrey at quarterback. It says Cade McNamara is their starter. He played a little bit last year. I could have sworn they had a McCaffrey kid. Maybe I'm wrong. Huh. He transferred? Okay, hold on, let me check. They're reviewing the fumble. Dylan McCaffrey, that was his name. I know there's one McCaffrey at Nebraska. Ex-Michigan Wolverines quarterback Dylan McCaffrey transferring to Northern Colorado. Wow, what a fall. Oh, that's where the McCaffrey father coaches. Okay, that explains it. I wish I looked at the fumble. I was too focused on Mr. McCaffrey. All right, hold on. Let me check the stream real quick. Let me check the stream replay. So they're reversing it. Oh, yeah, he's definitely down. He transferred to a better football school, a.k.a. Northern Colorado. You were one of the few who bet this week. I've just consistently forgotten to bet ever since that abomination of a Week 1 performance by yours truly. The basketball program is lit. Juwan Howard definitely seems like he knows what he's doing. 4th and 6. Tyreek Hill is in. Does Dallas go for 2 now? That's the question. You might as well go for it now. There's no point of waiting. Michigan is the #1 recruiting class? I did not know that. But Juwan Howard is one darn good coach. They're not going to go for 2 now. That makes things more suspenseful and interesting, which for the sake of the stream, I'm all about. But for their sake, I would almost just go for it now, no? Doing a Moneyball type franchise with the Royals. Nice, nice. YouTube can't handle 720p. It's actually 720p, 60 frames per second. Get it right. Wink, wink. They're not going to kick the onside here, are they? No. I mean, honestly, the onside kick probably wouldn't work. But Todd Gurley's been running over them all day. I would almost just try it. So they're just going to rip away at this clock, right? They have to. Last win of the season was against Michigan. Well, that means you lost. Oh, I cannot speak. You left the season on a losing streak. You lost the Big Ten title. You lost to Oral Roberts, of course. We can't forget that. Too bad Illinois and Oral Roberts had to ruin the fun. Watching Ohio State get put away by Oral Roberts was hilarious. I mean, that game was, like, consistently close, but really up until, like, there was a minute left, I was thinking there's no way Oral Roberts is going to win the game, right? And they did. So I was watching Michigan getting dogged, but Michigan lost by, like, 1. I wouldn't say that's getting dogged. Oh, my God, the Cowboys actually stopped him. So Dallas can tie the game here with a touchdown and 2-point conversion. As a college basketball fan, it was one of the most fun upsets to watch. I mean, that's a great thing about the tournament. And that's why college football needs an expanded playoff. Because upsets. And I feel like because it's a one-game playoff in college basketball, that's why March Madness might be the best playoff tournament in sports. Like, for the MLB and the NBA and the NHL, you play so many games to where you really can't have a one-game playoff series. But one-game playoff series are more fun. Is this real? You guys actually stopped Gurley and still have 2 timeouts. Now at the 50. Woodard again trying to throw it to a ghost. Instead, he threw it in between 2 Columbus defenders. Dwayne Washington bet money on Oral Roberts. Yes, he did. Congratulations to him. He made money when student athletes are not allowed to make money. Cardinals reveal if they'll both favorites. I would say the easy favorites. I think they're at like their own tier right now. 3rd and 6. Zach Ertz just mossed that man. That was not Chidobe. Who is 20? Whoever number 20 is just got mossed, and it's not Chidobe. Now they have the play-in tournament. I guess that's like the closest thing to March Madness, so I think that's a good addition. I feel like if I was like the 7th seed in the West, though, I'd be pretty ticked off because the West. Who is the 7th seed right now? Like Dallas? There's T.J. Watt with a big sack. Why are the Cowboys refusing to call their timeouts? Okay, they have to call one here. They have to, and they do. All right, who is 7th in the West? Is it the Mavs? It's Portland. Dallas is 6th. Yeah, but Portland is a good team. They would have to play Phoenix in the first round had there be no play-in tournament, and I think they would much prefer that because although Phoenix is really good, they're not necessarily proven. I mean, the Suns, with their current core, have never played in a playoff game. It's intercepted in the end zone. Chidobe Awuzie avenges getting mossed. The game had to end with a Chidobe interception. I mean, if the Diablos don't win the OFL Bowl, can Chidobe get a ring? I don't care about anyone on the Caps. I just care about Chidobe. Dallas kept this game close to the end. I mean, there were times at the beginning of this game where it looked like they had no chance to win. But their defense played a lot better in the second half. Todd Gurley was still fine in the second half, but he was not anywhere near as good. But after Chidobe got mossed, I think we all knew that he was not gonna let that define his day. Chidobe Awuzie fraud has removed the fraud part, and he has gifted you a higher draft pick. The losing streak for the Caps comes to a close. They are now 5-3. Dallas is 4-4. I wonder if this division is going to have more than one playoff team. If this was in the AFC, then absolutely. But obviously in the NFC, who knows? Carson Wentz was efficient. He really did not have to do a whole lot, though. Matt Woodard had his ups and his downs. He had some good plays, but he also had some bad plays. This is Phil Riddle's first one as a captain, though he didn't play. What's good, Crockett? Why Chidobe? Because last year in my Lions series, I got Chidobe Awuzie, and anytime he did something good, I yelled, Chidobe Awuzie, and then it turned into a channel meme. Both running backs were insane. Nobody caught one pass. If you caught a pass, you caught at least 2. That's fun. NFC North is indeed a wreck. The NFC North is the only bad division in the NFC. The NFC East is 3 pretty good teams. The NFC West, we all know, is loaded. And the NFC South is pretty good, too. Jesus Hunt, 10.5 yards per carry. Yeah, but he only had like 12 carries. Todd Gurley had almost double that. You're in school right now. Fun. Alright, it is sim time. Where was this earlier, Kareem? Kareem had got like more yards in this game than he has all year. Alright, let's sim forward. If you win one game this... Who do you guys play week 9 again? Oh, you guys played New Orleans. That's a tough game. The Bulldogs won, and the Eagles lost. So London is 5-3, and they are tied with Columbus. Don't you have 4? Well, now he only has 3 because Kareem Hunt is gone. But yeah, he had 4. Arizona had a bye week. The Chargers beat the Lions back-to-back 35-21 games. The Chargers have won 6 in a row. The amount of points they've scored in those games: 20, 49, 27, 34, 35, and 35. This offense is on fire. It is time to put Isaiah Thomas firmly in the MVP discussion. Why did Vincenzo Pagnotti throw multiple passes? IT only threw 51%, but he threw 5 touchdowns. IT's an MVP candidate now. I think it's fair to say. Jameis was Jameis. Pretty much. Cam Akers has been really good this year. I'm surprised. Elmers with 2 touchdowns on 112 yards. Still first in the North. That's true, yeah. Now, I guess if Toronto or Memphis wins, then it wouldn't be sole first. Memphis is 4-3, aren't they? So if Memphis wins... Oh, well, there's our answer. Memphis does not win. So the Chiefs are now 5-4. So the Lions and Steamers are both 4-4. So Toronto can be tied for first place if they win. That's wild. The best team in the NFC North has a record of 4-4. But... both quarterbacks were really good. Scooter Young Jr. continuing to cement himself in the MVP discussion. I think he's now a firm, arguably second place at the moment behind Smirnov. I mean, Scooter has been outstanding this year. Colts got shut out by the Bills. Yeah, Indianapolis' season has been rough. And now they get blanked by Buffalo. The Lions quarterback battle, Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff. And Stafford outperformed him, of course. Amari Cooper with a touchdown. This would not have been a good game to watch with the lack of offense. But instead we got to watch a really good game. I wouldn't say Smirnov is the clear favorite. Smirnov is definitely the favorite by a decent margin, but Scooter is really catching up. The losing streak continues for the Cougars. They lose to the Titans. How many yards will Jimmy G throw against us? 450 or 500? What if he throws 501? DR3 has been kind of bad lately. He started the year off really well, but now he's really cooled off. Do we even need an offensive rookie of the year, though? Because Keith Priolio is, like, far and away ahead of anybody else. Joe Mixon is a sneaky offensive player of the year candidate. It's just that his team has not been winning games. Not that it's his fault, but I guess it is worth noting. 3 sacks for Melvin Ingram and 2 for Will Molden. Wow. So the Cougars got a ton of sacks, even though they lost. Diablos lose to the Raiders. What? We really just lost to the Raiders. They scored 17 in the fourth quarter, too. Of course. What happened here? So Zach and Colbert got hurt again, and Eddie Small proceeded to torch our defense. Why does Colbert keep getting these small injuries? And Phil Chippendale, again, was really mediocre. Phil Chippendale has not been the same guy that he was last year. Phil Chippendale's definitely not in the MVP race, which is unfortunate. Shaq Barrett had 3 sacks, though. That's fun. John Johnson, the new Raider, with a pick. I had 1 job, and now your draft pick is going to be worse. The Dolphins had a bye week. The Eagles lose to the Snowhawks. Pretty close game, though, 31-21. It's because I did not start McSorley. Phil is about to get benched for Trace McSorley, just so we can see what he can do. Now, you guys are leading the division. That's right. You guys are 6-2, and we're 5-3. The AFC West might be better than the NFC West now, because I still don't trust Portland, although they won here. The Niners have not been great this year. The AFC West has 4 of the best like 5 or 6 teams in the AFC. You can like make a legit argument that the 5 best teams in the AFC right now are Jacksonville and the 4 teams in the AFC West. Niners had a much-needed bye week. The Jags win again. They have won, what is this, 7 in a row? No, 6 in a row. In overtime, they have to beat Orlando. Joe Burrow with 4 touchdowns. The MVP race is just between 3 people right now. I mean, there are some guys on the fringe, but it's Smirnov, Burrow, and Skuta, with maybe someone like Isaiah Thomas creeping in. N'Keal Harry's been on fire for them. Holy smokes. The Sentinels have been a lot more competitive this year. Even though they're still not winning a ton of games, they've been a lot more competitive, and Tua has been pretty good. Jets lose to the Bulldogs. I forgot how good the Jets were, but they do lose to London, so maybe not that good. Deshaun Watson was not great. He was outplayed by Matt Ryan. Zeke had a big performance, though. I still don't really trust the Jets to be consistent. They're a good team. They're good in watch. They're pretty good in sim, but I just can't trust them to stay consistent. Jermaine Mitchell with 2 sacks, though. Lions lost. Packers had a bye week. Panthers lose to the Bucs. Wow, 31-30. So Carolina loses their first game since week 1. Jordan Love again was pretty up and down. So was Baker. He threw 3 interceptions. Had to use the bathroom. Well, I hope you enjoyed your bathroom trip. Sean James, hello, 2 touchdowns. Will Fuller also scored twice. Did the Thunderbirds lose? We have not seen the Thunderbirds score yet, so we don't know. New England had a lot of bye weeks this week. Holy cow. Raiders won. Rams beat the Ravens. Baltimore is starting to slip. The entire AFC, the AFC North started off really well this year, and now they are back to being a train wreck. Rams put up 20 in the second half, including 13 in the fourth. The Panthers will be playing pissed, yeah. Who the hell is going to win the AFC North? If the Bengals win the AFC North, I swear to God, it should still be the Ravens or the Cougars, but I suppose Cincinnati's not. You have a 19-2 interception to touchdown ratio. My goodness, that is really impressive. Those picks Boomy gave you are better. Yeah. Oh my goodness, Toronto is back. 35-14. So what? They had to sell the farm and now they're good. And Jimmy Garoppolo has been playing really well. What happened? He wasn't bad, but not great either. So the Saints are unable to get revenge from last year's playoff game. Aaron Jones with 3 touchdowns. Hello. So the Thunderbirds, the Lions, and the Steamers are all 4-4, I believe. That is quite wild. The NFC North, although it's not very good, it's a very interesting division. You do have to give it credit. 2 sacks for Kenny Clark. Sentinels lost. Snowhawks won. Steamers lost. Steelers had a bye. The Texans won a football game. Yeah, no, the Bengals do not deserve to win the AFC North. Was it because of a quarterback change? Is Jalen Hurts just that much better than Russell Wilson? Jalen Hurts is 1-0 as the Texans starter. Russell Wilson is like 1-6. Chris Carson with a big performance. I guess that's partly why. Please tell you, Jones, why would he have gotten hurt? I mean, even if the other running backs got carries, that doesn't mean he got hurt. So I wouldn't worry. Please tell me Jones got hurt. Quarterback change incoming. Yeah, I would say it's fair. I mean, Daniel Jones has had his good and bad. Is that everybody? I think we've seen everyone. Yeah. All right. Week 9 in the books. On to Week 10. Let's take a look at the standings first. Only 2 teams with only... The Snowhawks are 6-2? I mean, they're still going to lose like 7 of their last 8 in typical Portland fashion, but I did not know they were 6-2. Holy smokes. Hurts was ousted for Smirnov, and he's also better than Russell Wilson. So the AFC North, which once had 3 teams at 4-2, it's now 4-4, 4-4, and 4-5. Dear Lord. The AFC South, Jacksonville is still in cruise control. They've won 6 in a row. The Jets lost, but are still 2 ahead of the Dolphins. The Chargers now lead a loaded AFC West. The Chargers have won 6 in a row. Did you miss the Chiefs score? Yes, the Chiefs ended up winning against the Steelers in overtime, and you threw 3 more touchdowns. Yeah, if the Snowhawks finish... Oh, the Steelers are 3-5? Oh, I thought they were... Okay. Well, I guess it's a 2-way tie between the Lions and Thunderbirds. AFC North, NFC North, sucking. In both North Division, there's nobody over 500. That is really sad. Leading the division, you don't love to see it for our case. Siri, give me a number between 1 and 2. Siri picks 2. I don't know who 2 is. The Panthers are 2. Okay. Carolina is 6-2. They've just lost their first game since like week 1. Toronto has won 3 in a row, I think. Could be wrong there. What jerseys do we want for Carolina? Do we want for regulars? Do we want the color rush? Alternate. Check which team is the scoring leader. That's a good idea. Can I fix your depth chart? Okay, let me check Discord real quick. I imagine it has to do with a certain Will Duvall at quarterback. Okay, and then Chase Claypool wide receiver. I can do that real quick. Let's see here. We do not want the Steelers. We want the Steamers. Oh, he's injured. Okay. I mean, I'll still move in a wide receiver, but... And then depth chart, yeah, Will Duvall is ahead of Danny Derps. Scooter, that's your MVP. Imagine if the Caps ended up getting Scooter after all, because I know you like hinted at it. Imagine if the Caps got Scooter and he was still doing this well. So the Caps would have had back-to-back MVPs, but it would have been different players. That would have been pretty wild. All right, let's check the scoring leaders because I kind of want to know. It's probably going to be someone who's played 9 games. Eagles are dead last. Oh, it's the Cardinals. Okay, they've played 8 games. The Eagles have put up 114. Why is their offense so bad again? The least amount of points is by the Bulldogs. That's not a major surprise. Most points allowed is by the Steelers. Smirnov is going to win MVP. No one's been as consistent. That's true. I mean, Smirnov is still the favorite, but Alexei Smirnov, Joe Burrow, and what's-his-face, Isaiah Thomas are all making it interesting. Especially since they all had great weeks and Smirnov didn't play. Not that it's Smirnov's fault. A lot of superstars and a lot of superstar X Factors in this game. The Thunderbirds did trade away a few in, obviously, Bobby Wagner to us. Thank you, good sir. Trey Flowers, Jamison Crowder. Okay, so that is actually quite a few. Only reason you didn't get Scooter was because Cobra begged. Well, Cobra was right to keep him. Thank you for Uche, Ayo, and the third. Well, thank you for Mr. Wagner. I think IT and Burrow are great. And Scooter, of course. Can't forget about Scooter. Just Smirnov's on another level. An off week for him is 300 yards, touchdowns, and interception. You're absolutely right. But I think it is starting to get a little bit closer than it once was. Smirnov has been consistently good the past few weeks, but he hasn't been as great, per se, as he was early in the year, whereas guys like Scooter, IT, and Burrow are having elite performances. Smirnov is still playing well, but those guys are making up a little bit of ground. Time to get clapped. Have we watched Carolina this year? I don't think we have. Patrick Mahomes' numbers are better than I would have thought. Through 8 games, 13 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. There are a lot of quarterbacks who've only thrown like 2, 3, 4 interceptions this year. I mean, a lot of the best quarterbacks have been efficient, and Patrick Mahomes could be a sneaky MVP candidate. Last year he was on. He had the worst numbers and easily got last place in the vote of the 5 candidates. You'd argue the watch game was an elite performance, and watch games are a big deal. And Smirnoff did play really well in that game. Scuda had the one elite watch game. Have we only watched the Chargers once? And IT was pretty up and down there. But Isaiah Thomas started the year off slow. He's played a lot better as the year has gone along. Personally think I'm better than Smirnoff. I mean, it's close. I would say Smirnoff, but Isaiah Thomas is not that far off, in my opinion. Okay, Mahomes right into Aaron Donald. Because that's what you want to do on your Sunday afternoon. 3rd and 3. Here's Aaron Jones with a nice move. Jones was really good in watched games with the Texans. Not really as much with the Diablos. I'm now just realizing that we're going to get another 15 runs today from Patrick Mahomes, because that's what he does in watch games this year.
Aaron Jones on the carry. The tackle made at the 47-yard line.
Jones had 2 touchdowns through 7 weeks and had 3 last week. Interesting. Mahomes with a short pass. I believe that's to Mr. Reliable, Evan Engram, who is still on the roster. He did not leave despite the purge. Smirnoff is a very different quarterback from Isaiah Thomas. If you tried to play IT in Smirnoff's system, he would suck. I don't know if they would suck. I think they would still be good players, but I think the systems are helpful. Like, I don't think Alexei Smirnoff would be producing as well as he is anywhere else, and I think you could say the same about Isaiah Thomas and Scooter Young and Joe Burrow. You play Columbus next stream? Oh, we're watching that. We have to watch that game.
Aaron Jones, the ball carrier. Trey Flowers on the stop. And 8 yards.
The Thunderbirds are having no problem moving it down the field so far. J.J. Watt was injured. I didn't even notice that. You done injured him, Nick? What is this, Bounty Gate? Is that Sean Payton on your sidelines, I see? It's a must. For the purpose of trash talk, we absolutely must see that. I'm not entirely sure when the next stream is going to be. I was originally planning on doing 2 this week, or 2 additional ones. One on Wednesday, one Friday. I'm not entirely sure if I'm still going to have time for 2. Maybe. We'll see. And when I say 2, I mean 2 not including this one. So, I guess 3. Smirnoff has gotten better every year. And last year, I mean, it was kind of hard for him to improve considering how good he was last year, but he's found a way to do it. Columbus. Toronto is having trouble punching it in here on the goal line. They have Aaron Jones, who's a big bruiser. There he is, into the end zone for a touchdown. So the Thunderbirds strike first. What was that? A sexually inappropriate act on the end zone thing by Aaron Jones. That's got to be a fine. As Joe Buck would say, that is a truly disgusting act by Aaron Jones. Play the Diablos week 10. Are we watching it? It did not get enough votes because we're in week 10. That would have been a really fun game, especially since the Chargers are now first. Yeah, that game just didn't get enough votes. How did the Packers and the Lions get more votes than the Chargers and the Diablos? That doesn't make sense. I mean, for the purpose of the NFC North, those division games are important, but the Packers are 2-6. Everybody in the AFC West is better than everybody in the NFC North. Early face mask on Toronto. What did Jones do? Did you see him like hump the goalpost after his touchdown? You're worried about when Von Miller... You shouldn't be worried about DeMarcus Lawrence. He's still, what, like 30 or 31? Von Miller, I think you're right to be a little bit worried about, but DeMarcus Lawrence is fine. You guys have 2 first-rounders this year? I didn't realize that. Huh. Voted Packers Lions is a meme, and then it just caught on. Uche, you bum. That's why I traded him. Actually, the reason why I traded him was for more financial flexibility, because I gave him a somewhat big contract last offseason. It's not like a long contract, but I figured it'd give us more salary cap for next year. JK to the 39. Voted Pack. Well, obviously you have a good reason to vote for that game since the Lions are your team. But I'm surprised that game got so many compared to the other ones. Biased because you're the Bears. But Allen Robinson's great. So if there's any way we can get him out of the division in the near future, I would be happy to comply. 3rd and 4. There's a nice first down. Carolina's offense is starting to string something together. J.K. Dobbins did not just shove Kenny Clark away. I must have missed that. I must have been looking at the chat when he did that. Wide receiving core is pretty scary. Devontae Adams, John Ross, Jameson Crowder. That is pretty scary. Another nice run from J.K. I love how J.K. used to be really bad in watch games, and now he's all of a sudden really good. Remember last year in the playoffs when he went, like, off against somebody? I forget who. It was either Arizona or Tampa Bay, where J.K. Dobbins just exploded. We can both agree that Rodgers needs to get out of there. Oh, heck yeah. They're trying to ruin you, A-Rod. Green Bay picked a quarterback in the first round last year. They don't want you. I heard there's a nice retirement home in Boca Raton, Florida that would love to accept your services. We know what John Ross is capable of. Ask the Thunderbirds. Oh, they know. They definitely know. No, I'm not going to tell you what John Ross is capable of. So remember a time where John Ross ran behind all those defenders on the Hail Mary? 1st and 10. It's the Carolina jet sweep that they run like 5 times every watch game, it feels like. Over to James, and it does not work. 91 overall. Well, it's not like Carolina's offense is bad. I mean, Baker Mayfield's good in this game. J.K. Dobbins is apparently all of a sudden turned from one of the lesser running backs in this league to one of the better ones. Odell Beckham, Mike Gesicki. I was going to say Tyler Boyd, but he's a cripple. Tyler Boyd's injury, I think, was an Achilles tear, right? It was something bad. 3rd and 8, they don't get it. Baker Mayfield's completed 4 passes for 20 yards. Blaze it! 4th and 1 at the 1. They're going to kick the field goal, I know it. But don't be wusses and go for it. Wusses! What a bad call. Smirnoff really said, what if I overthrow the Hail Mary? Yeah, he did. What a weak call by the Panthers. You have it 4th and goal at the 1. You punch the damn ball in and tie the game. I'm appalled. Guess who's back? Welcome back, Lucario. I'm not sure if you missed it, but you guys ended up beating us last week. But it looked like Zachy and Colbert got hurt on one of the first plays of the game, so it was actually Eddie Small who ended up torching our defense. To check injuries, so after this game, we'll see what his injury is. But Eddie Small torched us. Baker Mayfield's completed 4 passes for 20 yards, and it's 420 at the moment. How fun. Raiders are coming from the West. I mean, the Raiders are unlucky because they'd probably be first in either North Division, but they're last in the West. John Johnson got a pick. More important than any QB injury or Eddie Small outplaying the quarterback who we picked ahead of him in that draft. But no, John Johnson getting the pick, of course. You saw the game stats? Oh, okay. Jalen Smith is hurt. He's at the sideline, so that means it's not a serious injury. Von Miller and DeMarcus Lawrence is a dominant duo that destroyed the Niners' O-line. Yeah, those two had an absolute field day in that game. How many injuries are Carolina getting? EA is actually helping out Nick with the injuries? I never thought I'd see the day. What is happening?
And 6 at their 40.
Mahomes has not thrown an incompletion. Actually, neither quarterback has thrown an incompletion. I spoke too soon. I knew that was going to happen. Once I said that, I told myself, he's going to throw an incompletion on this play, isn't he? Lo and behold, incomplete. And now it is 3rd and 6. And Mahomes is going to run with it. Again, he runs right into Aaron Donald. Who in their right mind does that? And now he's in the zone. On the bright side, you can easily know which superstar wide receiver caught the ball. Remember the last time Octi said EA was helping the Thunderbirds? I do remember that, yeah. A certain Russian rocket had something to say about that. Decent punt from Keaton. And Carolina has it at the 17. Okay, short gain there, but still a gain. 2nd and 4. There's OBJ, who's had to carry a lot of a load with Tyler Boyd injured. Raiders play New England. If the Raiders win that game, that means everybody in our divisions can be over 500. And considering it's New England, I have confidence that the Raiders will win that game. Because New England's the worst team in the league right now, by a considerable margin. Baker back to Odell. Not quite getting the first, but he's close.
Mayfield's pass complete to Odell Beckham. A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 45-yard line.
All these losers throwing short. Why throw short when you can throw it 6 times for 200 yards? That is the way Alexei Smirnov lives, and that's the right way to live. You got to wake up feeling dangerous. Ironically, that's a Baker Mayfield quote. Mayfield's doing exactly not living dangerous.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
There's a big sack for Uchenna Nwosu.
Brought down back at the 36-yard line.
Second and 19. Okay, decent gain. He imitated the Smirnov sit in the pocket forever and just wait until someone gets open. And then just launch a 30-yard dart. 3rd and 3, incomplete, another stop. So the Thunderbirds will keep the lead, unless they turn the ball over. But assuming that doesn't happen, they will keep the lead going into halftime. Hate this defense so goddamn much. But yeah, but they're only allowing field goals. The Thunderbirds have all 3 timeouts. That is very significant. Will EA waste 2 of them? Yeah, they will. But it is worth noting.
They'll take over. First down and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Smirnov is the Thunderbirds' dad. You are absolutely right. There's a short gain, and the field goal graphic goes up, but Toronto's calling a timeout. I appreciate Baker Mayfield throwing a dot to the ground. I think Baker Mayfield throws it to the ground like Matt Woodard throws it to ghosts. Another timeout, okay. So you can't really waste timeouts at this point, considering you've already used 2 of them. With 30 seconds left, unless they get a really big play here, I think realistically, best case scenario would be a field goal. I think best case scenario would be more of a field goal. Gallup to the 14. They probably should call time. They'll have enough time to run another play, I think. after wasting 17 seconds of clock, so they're going to kick the field goal now. I mean, you could try to throw it into the end zone, but yeah, this is probably the safe call.
His kick is good. Makes the score Thunderbirds 10, Panthers 6.
First half in the books, 10-6. Thunderbirds on top in a pretty close game. Good work, EA. Way to manage the clock. Nice amount of passing yards for the Panthers. I mean, to be fair to you, it's not like EA's only doing that one clock glitch where they waste like 15 seconds and then call time. It's not just a you thing. But typical EA, wasting clock like that.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Thunderbirds look to be I wouldn't say claiming their playoff spot yet. I mean, we're only in week 10, and Toronto's tied for first place in the division. So if I was the Thunderbirds, I would not be getting comfortable, especially since I don't think anybody in the NFC North is going to make a wild card spot. But they're certainly doing some good damage control after their 1-4 start. Where was this clock management in the divisional round? Don't be dissing on the Lions. Yeah, if Toronto wins this game, the Lions still are fine. Toronto's a little bit better on paper, but, I mean, if the Thunderbirds go south again like they did at the beginning of the year, then the Lions should win the division. Unless Memphis starts to go a little bit crazy. Maybe training those guys will make you better. He only dropped 1 overall. Oh my, look at JK. He has turned into a beast in watch games. I really don't know how he went from really bad to really good. Have you seen their division? Yeah, but if Toronto wins this game, they'll be 1 game ahead of Detroit. And that would be if Detroit loses. If Detroit wins, it will be a tie. So, although on paper, the Thunderbirds should win this division, it's not like Toronto's been great this year, and it's not like Detroit has been that much worse. Better put a 50 on the Steelers. Oh dear, I can't wait to see that score. There's a big play for Sheldrick Redwine. What a guy. Second and goal. Can Carolina finally find the end zone? It's a pitch for Gesicki. Nope. You got half the distance to the goal line, but now they need another 6 yards here on 3rd and goal. Gesicki. 3rd and goal. Baker, end zone, touchdown. Carolina. The Panthers take their first lead of the game. It's James with his 5th of the year. The Kitty Cats need 7. Meow, and they got 7. Toronto's offense had a pretty good first half. Had they had enough time on that last drive, they possibly could have scored a touchdown. Obviously, they were unable to. But we'll see if they can tie it or take the lead. Fun to watch Nick slowly lose his sanity. That's one of the positives of watching Thunderbird games. We get to see the chat go up and down, specifically Nick, obviously, in a very short amount of time. Patrick Mahomes trying to run with it in typical Mahomes fashion, and he gains nothing. Who do I want the Lions to draft this week? There really is not anything that would make me upset, for the most part, realistically. Penei Sewell will make me really happy. Rashawn Slater I'd be good with. My gut is telling me right now it's one of those two. Although we have bigger needs, I'd be happy with any of the 3 top receivers. I'd be happy with Kyle Pitts. I'd be happy with Patrick Surtain. Although I don't think we should pick a quarterback, I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be happy if we picked Justin Fields. And obviously a trade back would be great too. So the only thing that realistically would not make me overly happy would be Micah Parsons at 7, and I wouldn't totally hate that. But that's the only like realistic possibility that I wouldn't be pleased with.
Brings up second and 10 at the 42-yard line.
If this was Bob Quinn running the show, then Micah Parsons at 7 would be a done deal. Actually, no, because Micah Parsons is fast. Yeah, no, Bob Quinn would not want Micah Parsons because Parsons is fast, and Bob Quinn does not like fast human beings. Bears need to trade up. That would I think the Bears should try to be aggressive. Maybe get one of the Alabama receivers if they fall past 10. I think that'd be a smart idea. Picked up by Carolina. Imagine if Justin Fields falls and the Bears get him. I would be so sad. Because I really want Justin Fields to do well. A, I don't think he would do well in Chicago, and B, as a division rival, I would not appreciate that. Sarah Fuller. That would be that's who Bob Quinn would pick if he was still here. Definitely. Remember, yes, there was a time that I would have been thrilled with Micah Parsons at 7. Not that I think he's a bad player, but the character stuff is a little bit worrisome, and I don't even think he's the best linebacker in the class. I think Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is better. If we trade back to like 15 and get like Owusu-Koramoah or Rashad Bateman, that would be literally perfect. Oh my, look at JK, a 46-yard touchdown. Remember when it looked like Toronto was going to win this game? Yeah, Carolina's gone balls to the wall here in the third quarter. Why did the field goal animation pop up? Because this game is dumb. That'd be a waste to draft a wide receiver because you have Andy Dalton. Yeah, but Andy Dalton's the best quarterback you've had since, dare I say, Jay Cutler? Yeah, I would not want to be a Bears fan right now. I mean, it's not like my team is any better, but at least it feels like we're in a direction. The Bears are... I've enjoyed having the Bears in our division the past 10 years. We'll put it that way. EA is being nice to Nick. The Octi quote that turns the tide for the... I said EA was being nice to him. And I definitely spoke too soon. Definitely. You'd rather Trubisky than Dalton. Trubisky, I feel like, wasn't even that bad at times. At times. Okay, look at CeeDee Lamb. So both teams just trade off ridiculously long touchdowns. No, that's Engram. That's Evan Engram with the touchdown. Okay, what has happened? This game has kind of gone wild. Pace is... Yeah, Ryan Pace has to go. Matt Nagy has to go. That whole team needs a makeover.
The kick is good. Makes the score Panthers 20, Thunderbirds 17. Harrison Butker set to kick off.
They just want to give Nick hope so they can take it all away. That's why Evan Engram got that touchdown, because they want to give Nick hope.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Okay, so the past two plays have been ridiculously long touchdowns. J.K. Dobbins has 152 rushing yards. Do I need to turn the run blocking sliders down? Because they've been at 100 since the start of OFL 21, and the run blocking has still been consistently bad, but in today's stream, every running back, it feels like it's going off, except for Aaron Jones, because he's barely gotten the damn ball. J.K. Dobbins has been a machine, Todd Gurley's been a machine, and Kareem Hunt's been a machine.
J.K. Dobbins, the ball carrier. He was brought down at the 45-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches.
Second and inches, J.K. again for another first down. Should have traded everybody on the defense. I'll take Reggie Peters if you're offering. Good running backs playing well is more realistic. Yeah, obviously I would not move them down a ton, but like J.K. Dobbins and Todd Gurley have looked like Barry Sanders. If this was how the game, let's say this was one season ago, J.K. Dobbins and Todd Gurley would average like 40 yards a watch game, maybe at that. So I prefer that these running backs are doing really well than really poorly, But not everybody is supposed to play like Barry Sanders. Not Peters? Okay, so you're offering me Denzel Ward and Chris Jones and Kenny Clark? I'll take all of them. Meanwhile, Kenny Clark has missed his 7th tackle. If only that was the case in real life. Why do the Packers have to be good? That should have been intercepted. That was right in his hands. The run blocking sliders are good. Like seeing good running games. If you lower the slider, we'll see. I mean, that's true. I mean, I would not move them down by more than like 5 or 6. And I would only do it to experiment. Probably for right now, I'll keep them at 100. But if these guys keep putting on 150-yard games with ease, then I would probably need to turn them down a little bit. This is week 10, yeah. So we're officially over halfway through the season. The regular season, that is. Did the Cardinals win? The Cardinals at a bye week. And this week you guys play the Steelers, who have like the worst defense in the league. So if you guys put up less than 40 points, I will be disappointed. I mean, Kamara didn't, Zeke didn't. That's true, but it seems like in today's stream alone, like something has changed in Madden where like decent running backs go off. So I don't want to overreact. You're right. I probably shouldn't change them now. But in today's stream, the run game has been absurdly good. Good. You need the Russian arm needed a rest. Ooh, J.K. Dobbins didn't get it. That's big. If you're Carolina, I think you go for it here. Make it a 2-possession game. That's what I would do. And they're going to go for it. Gutsy call. I agree with it. I think it's the right decision by Carolina. And J.K. Dobbins gets a touchdown. How has this allowed the 6th fewest points? We got the stop. Words spoken too soon. J.K. Dobbins has tormented the Toronto defense today. It's still only a 10-point game. I suppose they're not out of it. Smirnoff, I would be disappointed if you do not drop 4 touchdowns. Anything less than 4 touchdowns is a disappointment for him. That's how good he is. It'll drop 7. Watch the Cardinals score like 10 points and still win the game. That'd be kind of funny. That'd be a little bit funny. So just over 6 minutes. The Thunderbirds' 3-game win streak is very much in jeopardy. 91 overall defense, just a reminder. Allowing J.K. Dobbins, an average running back, to destroy them. Would be very EA if that happened, yes. Patrick Mahomes, what a guy. Is that his new name? Oh, he's 13 of 14. Wow, I did not realize he's been that accurate today. I knew he was pretty accurate. Throw it deep. Well, considering it looks like they're running 5 wide, I would not be surprised if we have a deep pass here on 2nd and 3. Get to see the Mahomes rocket. Or, I should have expected that. I should have really expected that. He's only ran it 3 times. That's a surprise. Patrick Machoke, what a guy. Has Wentz as his quarterback. That's a fair comeback. Mahomes has been noticeably better than Wentz, and he's going to run with it again, isn't he? Yep. He's ran it the same amount of times in the past 30 seconds that he has the entire game. That feels off. Feels like he's ran it more than twice before this drive. Flag. Holding? Probably. Ooh, roughing the passer. Wow, that's a big deal. Against Reuben Foster. All the way up to 29 now. That is gigantic. The Thunderbirds are not out of this game. There's still 4 minutes. We've had 2 really good games today. I think didn't we have 2 sims last episode? Although the Chief Raider game was still a little bit exciting. But both of those games were sims. We've had 2 thrillers today. Smirnoff, IT, Wentz, Joe Burrow. Wentz is not in the top 5 this year. Wentz has not been very good. But Smirnoff, IT, Burrow, and Scuda are definitely there. I think the question is who would be the fifth. Big sack for Jalen Smith. I don't think there is a clear fifth. I mean, Mahomes only has 2 interceptions going into this game. So you could make an argument that it could be him. Or maybe if hypothetically holds to form with the MVP race, we could always have the battle. Third and 7. Why does it look like they're going to run the ball? For what would be like the first time in the second half, might I add. Okay, they don't. They do get the first. But literally, Aaron Jones does not get on the ball. Aaron Jones is the only running back in today's stream who wasn't dominated, and it's not his fault. Scooter or IT, who's a better cheese? I would say as of right now, just based on this year, Scooter. But if you base it on career, Isaiah Thomas just had 3 good seasons. Scooter's had 1. Evan Anger with a touchdown. It's a 3-point game. Priolio, I probably wouldn't put him in the top 5 yet. I mean, he's been really good, but I don't know if I would say he's been consistent enough. He has been very impressive. I mean, I guess if we're ranking just solely based on quarterbacks, I mean, Sam Darnold would probably be in the top 5, but his team just hasn't won enough games. I mean, you can't put a guy whose team is 2-6 in the MVP candidate, even if he's been really good with literally no help, and their star players getting injured. Who's a better running back, Isaiah Thomas or Scooter? I wonder how good Isaiah Thomas would be at running back. We know how good Scooter would be there, a.k.a. not very good. Scooter was a running back. When the Chiefs had both of them, Scooter mainly played running back, so for the memes, it makes sense. So the Cowboys were in a similar situation last game as the Thunderbirds, and they stopped Todd Gurley for the first time that entire day. Now the Thunderbirds have to stop J.K. Dobbins for the first time all day. Trust the defense, that's going to work out well. Okay, that's not J.K. That's Zach Moss, probably. They got to feed the ball to J.K. all day, because he's been the one who's been winning this game for them. 2nd and 9. I think that's J.K. in the game. First down ends it. That's nothing. Toronto calls their final timeout. A first down still ends it for Carolina. If Toronto gets the stop, they're back in it. 3rd and 8. I feel like you just have to run the ball here. I feel like they're going to throw it, but they shouldn't. Yup. Will it work? It's a screen. Did he get it? He got it. Carolina's going to win the game. So they needed 8, and they got it off of a J.K. Dobbins reception. And that is how the game will come to a close. So a tight one. But the Carolina Panthers will win it. And the 3-game win streak for Toronto comes to a close. Carolina gets... Wait, what just happened? Okay, there we go. Lions still have the North. And a win puts them solely in first place. See, make it a heartbreaking defeat. Madden loves to make Nick cry. Yeah. Wish the Thunderbirds were still good. Well, the Thunderbirds have won 3 of their past 4, to be fair. But this is definitely not the same team that it was last year. But they are lucky their division is not great to where they can still win it. Both quarterbacks were really efficient. Patrick Mahomes nearly had a perfect passer rating. Yeah, 3 incompletions the entire game. That's pretty wild. J.K. Dobbins was a goddamn machine. Aaron Jones did not get the ball in the second half, it felt like. Typical EA Sports for you. 2 touchdowns for Evan Engram, 1 for Sean James. 9.9 yards per play. Defense getting suicide drills, 2.5 sacks for Donald, and no turnovers. Actually, there was one, the Mahomes fumble. Okay, before we stem, am very curious about the Colbert injury because we forgot to check it after last week, and I really want to see it. I want to see if it's actually significant or not. Why is Matt Filer starting at left guard? That's a good question. Was there an injury? We went for Raiders. Colbert tore his Achilles, and Brandon Ayuk is hurt. Why are there so many serious injuries this year? It feels like all the main players who've gotten injured are, like, seriously hurt. Oh my goodness. That is significant. So Colbert's done for the year. Wow. Okay. What's good, Pokemon? Welcome to the stream. So Eddie Small is at quarterback for the rest of the year. Did everybody lose? I don't remember all those teams' records off the top of my head. New England. They beat the Raiders! Oh my gosh. I was saying how the Raiders were easily going to win this game, and they lost. So, is the Colbert loss that big of a deal? I mean, Eddie Small wasn't bad. He outplayed Hawthorne. Why does Colbert get hurt so much? I imagine his injury rating is low. What did you miss? So we're reviewing games for the second week of the day. Both games ended up being really good. I think you guys had a bye week, the first game of the day. And I guess we'll see your score of today's game shortly. 2 sacks for Nick Bosa, 1 for Hunter. Interceptions for Greenlaw. And John Johnson has 2 interceptions in his first 2 games as a Raider. The Rams go 2-0 today. They beat the Eagles 21. They put up all 21 of their points in the fourth quarter. Okay. Austin Bleckley was better than Keith, for what it's worth. Your kicker could outplay Hawthorne. He really could. Kenneth Hawthorne has not been good. You think with the New England playbook. Jim Kelly, 2 catches and 2 touchdowns. What a guy. Wow, a lot of sacks allowed. Who got them all? Nobody more than 1. Jose Bunsuave's in there. He finished with a sack. And Alex Williams with a pick. Did the Eagles win? They did not win. The Ravens go 0-2. What has happened to Baltimore? Dak Prescott is 1-4. And the one game he's won was because of a missed extra point by the other team. But if you look at these scores, since acquiring Dak Prescott, 27 points, 31, 28, 24, 28. It's the defense that has been really bad for the Ravens, not the offense. Yeah, Dak threw 3 touchdowns, but Kyler Murray threw 2. Your Ravens pick value is growing. Who is Trent Newman and why did he play well? Keaton Hallitan could. Yes, he could. Your defense only tries in sim. Yeah, I guess. All right, who is next? The Saints. They had a bye week. Sentinels had a bye week. Snowhawks won. The Steamers beat the Bucks big. How did Will Duvall do? Oh, not very good. 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. I guess he was better than Jordan Love ratings-wise. So Jordan Love, Will Duvall, I mean, was up and down, but his team won the game by a lot. So I guess you got to give him credit there. The Steelers lose to the Cardinals 21-6. So Arizona only puts up 21. Still a win. Alexei Smirnov with a game for his standards. He did throw 3 touchdowns. Mookie Gray was not good at all. Kamara was solid. Thunderbirds might miss the playoffs. Geez, I don't think everyone's playoffs easier. Well, I mean, talent-wise and on paper-wise, you're right, but if Toronto misses the playoffs in that division, then they really don't deserve to be in the first place. 3 sacks for Lawrence, 2 for Hand. The Texans are 2-0 with Jalen Hurts. What is happening? They went 1-6 with Russ and are 2-0 with Jalen Hurts at quarterback. EA Sports, everybody. He didn't even play that well. He was average. Teddy Bridgewater was not good. So it seems like ever since the quarterback changed, Chris Carson has decided to go off. One and a half sacks for Dylan Kershaw and a few interceptions by the Texans. Toronto lost. Titans lost. The Bengals lose again, this time to the Jets. Okay, at least they lost to a good team. 31-21. The AFC North continues to turn into a disaster. Lamar Jackson still played well. So did Matt Ryan, though. When 234 yards and 3 touchdowns and 1 interception is a down game, you're the MVP. Petition for Zach Giancober to get his injury raised. That'd be nice if I could change it, but I cannot change injuries in this game. Only in 2K can you change injuries after they happen. Why are the Jets good? I don't know. Derrick Henry, I guess. Bills lose to the Dolphins. Miami's won like 3 in a row. Was Riley Painter a problem? Aaron Rodgers dominated. Matthew Stafford did not. I think you have to keep playing Aaron Rodgers, even when Riley Painter comes back. Is Riley Painter just not that good? Oh, raise his injury rating. Oh, I see. I kind of am curious what it is now. Bulldogs demolish Columbus 30-7. So London is now first place in the division. Like, on their own first place. Painter's... Well, it's not even that Painter's overrated. It's that Painter's just not all that good. I mean, no one thinks of him as a good player now. So he can't really be overrated. Todd Gurley completely went back down to earth while Zeke ran for 126. One and a half sacks for Cam Jordan and TJ Watt. 2.5 for Kimoko Toure. Okay. Caps obviously lost. Cardinals won. Chargers, do they win another one? Yes, they do. Jesus Christ, what has happened to the Mexico City Diablos? Why are we so bad now? I am appalled. 24-17. The Chargers have now won 7 straight. Isaiah Thomas with another good performance. Phil actually played well. He actually had one of his best games of the year. This wasn't even Phil's fault that we lost. Oh, so Dalvin Cook got injured. So the Dalvin Cook trade ended up being terrible for both teams because Josh Jacobs tore his Achilles and now Dalvin Cook is hurt. What a disaster. Yeah, this Mexico City team does not look like a Super Bowl contender at the moment. But you know who does look like an OFL Bowl contender? The Los Angeles Chargers, who are 7-2. That comeback against the Steamers really propelled their entire season. Start Trace McSorley. I might have to start Trace McSorley at running back now. Because I don't trust KJ Hamler and Bill Browning. We're on the Colts. Do they score more than 0 points? They do. They score 35, actually, but it's not enough to win. They lose in overtime to the Jags. Okay. I don't think Alexei Smirnov's the MVP favorite anymore. Joe Burrow has been insane. He's thrown 9 touchdowns and 0 interceptions today. There's a legitimate argument that Joe Burrow is past Alexei Smirnov. Saquon with 3 touchdowns. Riley Painter is the Sam Darnold of the class. IT is Baker Mayfield. Scuda is Lamar Jackson. And Smirnov is Josh Allen. Yeah, I can see that. I think that's a fair comparison. Who's the Josh Rosen then? I don't know. Did I call them Los Angeles? I corrected myself after I said Super Bowl. I realize that, but I'm not used to calling them San Diego still. It just does not feel right. We're watching the Raiders Week 11. Who do they play? I don't remember. Cougars had a much-needed bye week. Dallas gets back on the win column. San Francisco is not great. So it seems like the Dak Prescott-Justin Herbert trade has also been very bad for both teams because they've both been terrible since that move happened. So the big quarterback swap has turned out to be a flop for both sides, and the big running back swap has been a flop for both sides. Raiders and Chiefs, that's a good game. Yeah, I don't see why not. That's definitely going to be on the poll. I don't know if it'll get enough votes, but that'll certainly be on the vote. And now that Zach Kober is not the quarterback, the Raiders actually have a fighting chance in a watch game. Is that everybody? Oh, we haven't seen the Lions yet. The Lions get shut out by the Green Bay Packers 21-0. So this means the NFC North leader is a three-way tie between 3, 4, and 5 teams. You play the Steamers and the Diablos? Oh, that's an easy 2-0. You're not losing to us. We suck. So, first of all, the Packers are only one game back of first place. Second of all, why does Sam Darnold dominate in wins and does average in losses? Nice amount of yards for Kasim Lamb. Literally anybody can win the NFC North. I mean, they're all within one game of each other. The 3 top teams are 4 and 5, and the Packers are 3 and 6 and playing a lot better. So obviously Green Bay won, and that brings us back to Carolina. All right, let's take a look at weeks 11 and 12. What are the games on tap? Diablos, Jets isn't bad. Thunderbirds, Steamers, first place in the division. Niners, Caps is solid. Dolphins, Eagles is interesting. Lions, Panthers isn't bad. Raiders, Chiefs, obviously. Snowhawks, Cardinals is a really good game. Dallas, Rams isn't bad. That's about it. Week 12, the Thanksgiving games are Steamers, Lions. That's a good game. The other two, not so much. Jags, Panthers is good. Cougars, Cardinals is good. Raiders, Chargers is good. Holy smokes, there are a lot of good games this week. Rams, Niners. Diablos, Thunderbirds. Bulldogs, Caps. Bucks, Saints. Chiefs, Packers. There are so many good games in Week 12. Is Marlon Mack back? If he is back, he's definitely starting. I thought his injury was, like, super serious. I might be wrong, but if he's back, he's definitely starting. We are not going to beat you guys, Nick. We suck. Let's take a look at the standings. So, in the 2 North divisions, nobody is over 500. And the AFC North did not win a single game today. That is really depressing. AFC South, the Jaguars are going to be clinching this division very soon. Texans have won 2 in a row. Look at them. Colts currently projected to get the #1 pick. The Jets lead the East, but the Dolphins are making it close. In the West, the Chargers have really extended their lead. The Diablos have fallen off the face of the earth. Chiefs and Raiders close behind as well. NFC North, 3 teams at 4 and 5. Packers not far behind either. NFC South, Carolina up by 2 games. In the East, the Bulldogs are now in first place. Columbus and Dallas 1 game back. And then in the West, the Cardinals are only 1 ahead of the 6 in a row Portland Snowhawks. And the Rams are only 2 games back as well. You have Memphis, Mexico City, Columbus, San Diego, Detroit, Vegas, and Kansas City. Those are all good teams, except for maybe Memphis, who is not bad by any stretch. Mexico City's good, but just not right now. Columbus is good. San Diego's good. Detroit is solid. I wouldn't say they're good, but they're not bad either. Vegas is pretty good, and obviously the Chiefs are pretty good too. So the seedings: Jags 1, Jets 2, Chargers 3, Ravens 4, Chiefs 5, Dolphins 6, Diablo 7. So as long as you're over 500 or the best in the AFC North, you should make the playoffs here. In the NFC, Cardinals 1, Panthers 2, Bulldogs 3. The Steamers are 4. Portland 5, Rams 6, and Caps 7. Saints, Cowboys, Bucks, Thunderbirds, and Lions are right on the cusp. Let's see players of the week. I imagine we're going to see Todd Gurley for Week 9 and J.K. Dobbins for Week 10. Yep, Joe Burrow is also there for both weeks. I want to compare the top quarterback stats. I want to see Burrow, IT, Skuda, and Smirnoff real quick. Okay, can I do it by touchdowns? Okay, So it's Burrow and Smirnoff at the top. Very similar. Smirnoff has a higher completion percentage and more yards. He has less touchdowns and more interceptions, but only by 1. So these two are pretty much neck and neck. Burrow's been sacked 9 times through 9 games. Take notes, Bengals. Scoot is not too far behind as well. 21 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Isaiah Thomas is at 20 touchdowns and 2 picks. Yeah, the quarterback play in this league has been really good this year. Who has 1 in 14? Jared Goff has 1 interception and his team sucks. How about that? We want the injuries. If Burrow doesn't exist, the Jags are not 8-1. But if Smirnoff doesn't exist, the Cardinals are not 7-2. All right, anything that we don't know, because we obviously now know Colbert. Nothing new with them. Khalil Baker tore his hamstring. Nick Chubb tore his hamstring. That's new and significant. Robert Woods, I think that's new. All right, the big question is what happened to Dalvin Cook? Ronald Leary broke his hand. Ronald Darby got hurt. Chris Lindstrom, I think he was already injured. Dalvin Cook, partial MCL tear. He is out 5 weeks, so pretty much for the rest of the regular season. Riley Ridley also out 5 weeks. Woohoo! Yeah, the Jags are 8-1 and the Cardinals are 8-1. So I think Burrow and Smirnoff have to be at the top right now. Chargers aren't that popular, but you want? Yeah, you guys are arguably the 3rd or 4th best team in the league right now. All right, not a ton of big injuries outside of like Dalvin Cook. What is Colbert's injury rating? We're all dying to know. Is it like 50? It's 70. He has a lot of 70s. So that's why he gets hurt all the time. Yeah, many of his ratings are 70s, except for speed, throw power, deep accuracy, and all the ratings he sucks in. Yeah, so many players have torn their Achilles this year. So I guess that'll do it for the stream, I think. I don't think we have to go over anything else. Weeks 9 and 10 in the books. Weeks 11 and 12 will be next time. So, yeah, that'll do it. I hope you all enjoyed. And I will see you guys probably later this